People do not like my gameplay. Basically, I've made 2 rated extreme demons and by far the biggest complaint was bad gameplay. So I've been on a mission to fix that. By the end of this video, I'll be showcasing you a complete extreme demon layout which we'll be building in today's video. We'll attempt to make this layout as good as I can and you'll get to see the full process and hopefully learn a few things along the way too. So for this layout, I decided to make a bit of a shorter one. This will stick with my typical flowy kind of styled gameplay and I'm aiming for an entry extreme demon here. Anyways, let's get to the building. So on day 1, I didn't quite record the building session, I was just being kind of lazy, but using the structuring knowledge we learned last video, I made all the gameplay and little structuring here. I only got about halfway through this part, which isn't great. And then on day 2, well, I barely did anything. Let's just forget about this. On day 3, after getting attacked by OBS and having to fix stuff forever, I started up a build stream of building the layout. It's been like 2 weeks or something since I last worked on this. So not only do I gotta de-rust, I have to make dual gameplay. And back to the now. Welcome back to dual gameplay building hell. No matter how many of these videos I do, I just cannot get good at this for the life of me. It's always so complicated and confusing. It's just completely random. Holy moly, I am so washed at making gameplay. Then we spent about the next 30 minutes making this duel. At 100 times speed, I can't even show you this full time lapse without it getting boring, so I'm gonna just cut it here. Oh, we gotta start adding some structure. I'll just copy and paste. For here, I could just do like rocky layers. Whenever I started this layout, I pretty much made a few preset structures, so I can just copy and paste those around. It's kind of nice. For y'all who haven't seen the last video, I basically use these kind of messy structures just for a vague idea of what it'll look like. They're not supposed to look too clean. I'll make this mini so it doesn't go like super duper high. All right, calm little orb click here. Okay, let's try this. Still feels too easy. This saw blade needs some support. Can't just be hanging around like that. I wrap things up about here. Because of all the technical difficulties I had today, I took a bunch of time to fix, so I didn't get that much time to build today. Which equals we didn't get much progress, so it kind of sucked. On day 4, we returned to the grind. I'm going to include some ship here, because I feel like I just don't use ship enough. So currently I'm kind of trying to think about how I can make some more of this base gameplay fit the flow of the song a little better. I then added a UFO section and accidentally added a very hard way. I will be doing playtesting later on to find out how difficult this gameplay actually is. I think I've got a pretty smooth going process. Basically just place a few gameplay objects, then like add difficulty, and then structure them, and that's been working out quite well. Anyways, progress was going fairly well here, but there was something I was procrastinating. Alright, I finished part 1 and part 2 of base gameplay, but I actually had not added camera effects or pulses or anything like that. If you saw the video, you know that I do not like how long it takes me to set up cameras. So I tried to come up with a faster method where I use like circles in the level to kind of measure where the camera is. And I spent a really long time figuring this out. Like this was very boring. And then I ended up just getting distracted and getting on Abyss of Darkness for some reason. So yeah, that was about all for day 4. Here is what we had so far. I think it's coming along pretty nicely. Level structuring is a little scuffed. I'm not trying to spend too long on that. Anyways, on day 5, I booted up a build stream. I will be doing everything today. So we'll be adding camera effects to our layout and all of that. We're gonna make a sun. Duplicate the sun, make it go larger. No, it needs to be higher. I'm being so nitpicky right now. It's really not that deep. Just add some very simple particles. And I also add some alpha triggers to make the sun flash with the song kind of. Some pulse triggers to make the blocks flash with the song too. I didn't have to do much with the camera work since I already did that off stream. I got back to building the base gameplay of the next part. I think it makes sense to put a portal like this. Let's go with a robot. And then the stream and recording began to break. So it's now running at about 1 frame every 4 seconds or something. So yeah, I'm not gonna make you watch this. Let's move on. Anyways, on day 5, we got back to another build stream. That click is kind of annoying. Let's nerf that. Slap around some more of these structures. I think I'll just drop into like a cube and a slope or something. And then I'll go with a mini cube here. I had some more structures and base gameplay to finish up part 3, and then went back to part 2. This part needs some camera effects, pulses, and a few different things, so I got to that. Okay, wait, this still feels too light actually. I can just put some radial blur, like where the icon's moving a lot. Now there will be, yeah, like a sunset here. How do I make it look like a sunset? I then did some things like making all the objects pulse darker, making the sun orange, adding some pulses and everything to make a cool sunset area. I think that's about it for like the background. But yeah, I do believe that will be all for today. And yeah, that was all for day 5. I was quite happy with how this was turning out. But there are some hitboxes and some clicks here that are just complete jank. So we'll have to fix all that later in playtesting. Anyways, by day 6, we don't have too much gameplay left. We're getting fairly close. Alright, so we got about 15 seconds of gameplay left. Alright, place a bunch of objects to tighten the gameplay. we'll keep that for now. I decided to stream for quite a while because I was almost done with the base gameplay and structure, so I kind of just locked in and kept building. Okay, that's a lot of trees here. Yeah, why does this take so long? I actually want to add in some wave. I like just some wave spam here. Continue to the next part. I then add some scary micro clicks at the end of the level. And of course, the final quadruple spike. Why is that low-key slightly difficult? But that was it though. I finished all the base gameplay and base structuring. There was still a decent amount of things I had to do. Over the course of the next few days, I still had to add camera effects, pulses, background changes, and all that to the new parts. Then I went through a pretty tedious process of speed hacking and analyzing every part for secret ways, and fixing everything I found, such as skippable orbs, things that just skip the whole level, and anything like that. Even though this layout is only a minute, this took really long for some reason. But hey, at least this layout is fully playable with no secret ways and everything. And then on day 10, it was playtesting time. The goal today was to get rid of any annoying choke points, balance the level out, and of course there'd be no better way to feel out the bouncing than playing it myself. So I decided to try and get the level in 4 runs and fix things along the way. Like a few things we're gonna want to do is make the ending of the level easier, because nobody wants a chokeable ending, come on. I should try to do like 70 to 100 or something. Alright. 73 to 100, I think that is probably the best run I need to 100. This whole part should actually be a little easier since this part's kind of calmer. And the calmer the part, the easier it should be, I feel like. Then I tried to buff any clicks I felt too easy. Obviously, nerf was too hard. I tried to get 46 to 73, but I got 46 to 72 and just couldn't finish this run for the life of me. So I just moved on into the next run. Yeah, I did it. And further, too. Alright. Wait, that click seems kind of impossible. And we will make this beginning part a little easier. 4 to 40? Wait, that's kind of a big number. Okay, there we go. We got to the part. That means I had 99% of the level in 4 runs. I tried to finish the 46 to 73 run, but I just could not do it. Close enough. Anyways, although I have creator's bias, I think this all is feeling fairly balanced. Of course, I'll be releasing a level for anybody to try, so y'all can let me know if that is true or not. But yeah, the level is about done. Not only is this layout done, but I think we are done entirely with the gameplay improvement arc phase. Obviously, my gameplay isn't perfect, but I think I made a lot of improvements since I've started, and I'm happy with my progress. I actually tried to make a layout to this exact song a few months ago, and here's how this layout looks. I definitely like the new one I've made a lot more than this. So yes, 3 layouts later, we are finally done with the gameplay improvement phase. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the result of what we've been working on this whole video. The finale of gameplay improvement arc, Koopa Troopa Beach. Well, there you have it. If you'd like to give this level a shot yourself and give me some feedback on the gameplay or balancing, just search up the profile Rad Scorpion GD, and you should find this as my most recent level. I'll also leave the level ID in the pinned comment unless I forget to do that, which I might. So, what's next? Well, as I mentioned in this video, I had a 9-phase plan to lock in on the editor, and gameplay improvement was the first phase and by far the longest, and one I'd want to spend the most time on, which I've done. The next part of my plan was to learn a little bit more about the particle and shader triggers. I think it would be good to have some more knowledge of how these complex but really useful triggers work. Yeah, I might try to decorate a part. I might even try to decorate a part of Koopa Troopa Beach. I might just make something completely random or experimental. I'm not 100% sure. I will decide soon though. But yeah, that is all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay improvement arc series, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, here are a bunch of other videos I made that are similar that you would probably enjoy too. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.